Okay, here we are for another Let's Read. We're going to read chapter 2 now. Alright, so here we go. I just thought of something. Hang on. My phone is not working right, so it's going to take forever. You know what? Okay, I got you. Sorry. I get things all screwed up and have to figure it out. Fix my hair first. Sorry. Alright, chapter 2. Footsteps clambered on the wood floor above me. "Don't say a word," I hissed at Jake. "Well, maybe if you hadn't screamed after you told me about the shoes, they wouldn't be running down here," he said. I frowned at him, but I was still facing the kitchen wall, and he couldn't see me. He tapped on my foot. "Get out of there so I can take a look." I managed to wiggle out of the crawl space just as all 4 kids crashed down into the basement, eyes wide, ears open. 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy. Emily, 14, mine. Will, 12, mine. Sophie, 10, his. Get back on the right page. His. And Grace, 8, mine. We'd managed to dispense with the mine and his, however, since all 4 lived with us 98% of the time and had morphed fairly easily into a modern-day Brady Bunch. And if I say this right, it's S-A-N-S, so I say sans. I don't know if that's how you would say it. Sans, the even numbers, and maid. You know, talking about the Brady Bunch family. It wasn't even numbers and they didn't have a maid. We were a unit of 6, a unit that had a combustible quality and a ferocious curiosity and an uncountable number of quirks. Will was first down. His blonde hair flopped across his forehead and was in desperate need of a trim. "Why are you so dirty?" he asked accusingly. "Because I was in the crawl space," I said, trying to knock the dirt off my sweatshirt. He peered up into the space, his eyes narrowing. He was the most observant of the 4, the one we couldn't pull anything over on. "What is Jake doing?" Jake had shimmied into the crawl space the minute I'd eased myself out. "He's, unfreezing the pipe." "I don't hear the hairdryer," Emily said, her eyes blue like her brother's, just as narrow. "We heard screaming," Grace, the youngest. We heard screaming. Grace, the youngest, was attempting to climb onto a table to get a better look. "Are there devils up there?" I don't even like saying the word. I'll show you. I might have new people on here that don't know what I'm talking about. I dream of these things. Well, I'm gonna mess it up. Try not to drop my charge cord because I'm having to charge my phone, but to get it up here. Why? Me. It won't show the words. There we go. But now I can't see where it's at. That last sentence, middle word, I think. Yes, you see it? I don't like them things. I dream of them. I don't even like saying the word. Wish it wasn't in this book. She was asking, "Are there those things up there?" She yelled, her voice so loud that dust and cobwebs shook free from the rafters, raining down on us. "Devils? I want to see devils," Sophie said, pushing her glasses retarded. pushing her glasses up on her nose so she could get a better look. "Daddy, are there devils?" "No devils," Jake muttered. Then, "Oh, wow." That was Jake, because he'd just seen the body the way I'm taking it. Well, my light keeps dimming and I'm trying to Yes, I'm trying to brighten it back up. I'm so sorry. Will took a step closer, his eyes huge. Alright, let me make sure I didn't turn 2 pages. "What? Is there a devil?" "Nothing is wow," I said, putting my arms out like a defender, keeping them from getting too close to the space. "We're just working on the pipe. Head back upstairs." "Why did you scream?" Emily asked, squinting at me. "I didn't." She folded her arms across her chest. Her brown hair was so long the ends brushed her hands. "You totally screamed," she said. "Cobwebs," I said. "I got a cobweb in my mouth." I wiped at my lips for emphasis. "Maybe even a spider. I don't know." Her face paled. "Gross," she said. She wasn't fond of spiders or ladybugs or butterflies, but they wanted to see the devils. They're crazy. They're retarded. Or ladybugs or butterflies or anything else that remotely resembled an insect. Some days this included her siblings. "I don't see any devils," Grace said, now standing on an old table and looking over her head. "Aw, man," Sophie said, her face falling. I grabbed Grace by the hips and set her back down on the basement floor. "All of you, back upstairs, now. We'll be up in just a bit." They all grumbled, but headed back up the stairs. Will took one more look at me, then to space, then followed his sisters up to the main floor. As soon as the door at the top of the stairs shut, I whispered, "You see?" "I see," Jake whispered back, "but I can't get down there." "Well, you aren't going down there," I said, "because there is a body down there, but you see it, right?" "I see it," he said. "Pair of running shoes, probably a guy's, dirty socks." I nodded. The shoes were blue with yellow stripes, and there were still feet in them. I grabbed my phone off the table. "I'm calling the police." "Wait," he said. "Jake, we can't wait," I said, not believing that he thought we should do anything else. "Give me the hairdryer," he said, "before you call, so I can fix the pipe and create a little noise so 4 sets of ears don't hear you on the phone telling someone that there's a dead body in our new old house." I handed him the hairdryer. "What do I tell them?" I like this part. Jake twisted so he was on his back and tucked his chin to his chest so he could see me. His blue eyes were barely visible in the sea of dust covering his face. "Tell them that, because insisted..." I hate when I do that. I get in a hurry and skip words. "Tell them that because you insisted on buying an ancient house, despite neither yourself nor your husband having any technical expertise whatsoever, which would allow us to, fix things. You were up in a crawl space designed for really thin midgets because the jerry-rigged plumbing system from our kitchen froze because you refused all of my requests to move to Fiji so that we could be outside at least for a couple of days each winter without the fear of freezing our lips off. And because we can't, fix things, we were using your hairdryer to warm a century-old pipe. And in doing so, you happened to find a door that you thought led to Narnia, but instead led to an old coal chute, and in the coal chute you found what looks to be a person. We don't think it's the Wicked Witch, but we're not totally sure." And then I like what she says back. I stared at him for a long moment. I loved him so much it made my heart hurt sometimes. But there were other times when I wanted nothing more than to stick my foot in his giant sarcastic mouth. And then she says, I'm just gonna ask if they can send an officer over. I said, continue thawing. She's talking about, for him to continue thawing out the pipe with the hairdryer. And that's the end of that chapter. So this one took 10 minutes and 35 seconds. It wasn't as long as the first one. Okay, so I'll do another video reading chapter 3 to y'all, which I don't think I have told y'all about yet. That was the next one in line to do, but I'll just read it to y'all. And then that will have y'all updated and a little bit more extra with it too. Alright, I'm out of here until next time I'm done. I'm going to toodaloo.